A million years ago, it was 2015. Young Priya sat in her bed at boarding school and drank a ridiculous amount of coffee and ate a lot of unhealthy snacks at midnight, stressing out about whether she was gonna get into college. Her roommate worried for her sanity and also wondered how Priya could drink so much coffee after 6 p.m. and fall asleep. Spoiler, I did not sleep that much. Fast forwarding through that entire story, Priya ended up getting into schools that she was very excited about, and she ended up going to the University of Chicago. After 4 years of stress, the best friendships ever, a lot of sleepless nights, and gaining a lot of wisdom and learning so much, Priya has a lot that she wants to share with you guys. I'm gonna stop talking in the third person now and tell you guys exactly how I got into the University of Chicago and also other schools like UCLA, Berkeley, Georgia Tech, and tell you exactly how you can learn from my tips and incorporate my tips in your college application and get into your top schools too. Hey guys, it's Priya and I'm here to help you get into college. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to my channel, check out my intro video, but quick recap, I graduated from the University of Chicago and shocker, I majored in astrophysics. Now I'm a data scientist and I really love talking about college and helping people get into college. Join me on my college journey while I tell you how I got into one of my top schools. Before we get rolling though, if you want to learn more about my college journey, subscribe to my channel. I post every Friday at 9 a.m. and don't forget to smash that like button for that YouTube algorithm if you enjoy this video. So the first one, I had test scores that were in line with the people who get admitted to the University of Chicago, so you can always find test score information on the website. And if you've seen my video about the 5 things colleges care about in an applicant, you know that you need to aim for a certain threshold if you want to apply to certain schools. So I would recommend that you guys check out the applicant profiles for people who usually get into the schools you're applying to. So I'm going to include some information in the Google Doc link below about that. Aiming for the middle 50%. Between the 25th and 75th percentile is definitely a good range to try to aim for to apply to those schools. So the range for the University of Chicago was a 33 to 35. I had a 34, so I was actually pretty average, had the exact score to be in that average and not have to worry about test scores. That's definitely a good indicator about whether the schools you're applying to fit into your grades and your standardized test scores. I do want to reiterate, honestly, really test scores are not the most important thing, but they do serve as a threshold. So definitely don't overlook studying for your ACT or your SAT. Your subject SATs could be very important as well. I took math level 2 and I got a 770. So just be careful about your test scores and do your research. Always find out what the middle 50% range is for the schools that you're applying to. Again, more information in my Google Doc about that if you're a little unsure what I'm talking about. You just want to make sure that you're not being unrealistic about the schools you're applying to. I hate having to say that. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news because I really have never thought that test scores were a measure of intelligence. They really aren't. It's just about how good of a test taker you are and how much time you've prepped for it, I guess. I know there are schools that don't require the test anymore, but they are so important. Always do the most you can for any school. Write every optional essay, take all of the possible tests that could just boost your application. So yeah, first one, always look at test scores. The second, I really think that the classes I took and my ranking in school really helped boost my application. So instead of taking 3 higher level classes and 3 standard level classes that's required in the IB program, I took 4 higher levels and 2 standard levels. So I just did something that was a bit extra to show that I really cared about my education. And you can do the same whether you're in the IB program or you're taking APs. Just take as many APs as you possibly can that you know you can do well in. I took classes that I thought were pretty difficult. I took math and physics, history and English lit higher level, and my standard level classes were chemistry and Spanish. And my rank out of all of the people at my boarding school at the time was 6th out of, I believe, like 106 people, but don't quote me on that. So I think ranking is very important. It's a much better way to gauge what your GPA actually means in the market because GPA is calculated so many different ways in different schools. Like a 3.6 might mean something in America and it could mean something completely different anywhere else. So knowing where you stand with your peers is the best way to determine whether your GPA is good enough. I don't like saying that, but you guys know what I mean, to apply to the schools that you're trying to apply to. If you guys have more questions about my specific class profile or anything else like that, definitely comment down below. Let me know. I'm happy to tell tell you everything that happened with my classes in high school. The third, I think that it was really my essay that stood out. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know I love talking about essays. Essays are so important. They give the admissions officers insight into who you are, how you write, how you think, and what's really important to you. My essay was about cricket, and you can hear more about it in my other videos, but I'm actually gonna have an essay reading video where I actually just read my essay, so you can hear about it there. I'll link it above once I publish it. But my essay was about cricket. It was something that I really loved, and I connected it to a larger world issue. So that's something I talk about in the ways you can choose an essay topic. I have a video linked above for that. Choosing a topic that you are so passionate about, but also relates to a larger world issue, or it doesn't have to relate directly, but something that you can relate to something larger to show that you care about something much bigger and you think about things that are bigger than yourself, is super important in your essay, and I really think that passion showed. So I think this is more important than my GPA and my rankings. Of course, you have to hit a certain threshold, but after that threshold, your essay is the most important thing. The fourth, it's in the same vein as my last one. So this was about my why UChicago essay. When you're writing a why college essay, be as creative as you can. I wrote my essay in a narrative as though I was already on campus. So I almost described like a day on campus at UChicago as my why UChicago essay, even though I was a little 16-year-old in boarding school in India on top of a mountain. I put myself in the place of a UChicago student and wrote about all of the things that I was so excited to do during the day. So I talked about astronomy symposiums and about taking all of these really cool physics classes and just enjoying the architecture of campus. And I really think that was a unique way to write my essay. Honestly, I'm sure a lot of people also write it like that, but I think it just boosted my application because I loved that college so much. I truly loved it. It was one of my top choices, and I knew I would fit in, so I wrote about fitting in and already being there. And the fifth is kind of similar to what I said before. I think I was just a good fit for campus. College fit is not a myth. There's always going to be some schools that you just don't like or fit into. I love the University of Chicago. It is so quirky and it's so intellectual. People are so curious. They're dreamers, but they're also doers. It's a very unique campus. It's a very unique vibe. I can't really explain it. It's very education heavy, and it's really, you have to be a nerd, but it's also for people who are sociable, who are excited, who are curious. And I just fit into that vibe. Yes, it is a little rigorous, and honestly, I think the academics are extremely difficult and sometimes unmanageable at some points, but that's the kind of environment I know I thrive in. I thrive under pressure. So when I'm under a lot of pressure, yes, it's stressful, but I also do well. Like, I think I do even better under that sort of pressure. So it was just the perfect school for me. And I think with my essays, my grades, just the rigor of my high school classes, all of that put together, I think it just showed that I was a good fit for campus. I just love campus, but I know that there were a lot of people in my friend group who I guess didn't really like certain aspects of school. I know that like fit is a really important thing. So that's something you need to think about when you're applying to certain colleges and going through the application process. It's not just about the best school you get into. There's so much involved. And if you find a school that you really think you're gonna fit into, spend as much time as you can on that application. Don't base everything on rankings. Don't base everything on superficial things. Try to find a place that you think you're gonna be so excited about, because it's 4 years of your life, and that's really long time, and it's a very formative experience. You're never gonna get college back, and you wanna go to a place that you fall in love with. So that's it, guys. That's why I think I got into the University of Chicago. I could be wrong, but I did apply regular decision for the class of 2019. That's when I graduated last year. And the regular decision acceptance rate, I believe it was 4.2%. And then the early acceptance rate was about 11%. So the percentages you see for applications are the average of the early acceptance and the regulars. I wanna reiterate that the college process can be really tricky. There are schools that I didn't get into, even though I fit that middle 50% range for test scores, and I had a ranking that was a competitive ranking for those kinds of schools. I didn't get in, and now that I've been through the whole college experience and have seen other college campuses, I know why I didn't get into certain schools, and personality plays a big part in colleges. College fit is really a thing that they care about. The admissions officers go through thousands of applications for people from your region, and when they see someone who they think is going to fit into campus life, keep up with the academics, enjoy the extracurricular options, and all of the opportunities that are included with college. You will get accepted if you meet all of those thresholds, all of those requirements, and you show them through your essays or through your interview how much you love the school, but also letting them know more about yourself. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have any questions about the college application process. And question of the day, let me know what you think the hardest part of the college application process is. I think at the time it was just like the deadlines, like everything was due at the same time, and I really did not know what schools I should apply to. And the way I applied to schools, I looked at rankings and I kind of just applied to the top 15, and I know that's not how college should be. I know so much more now than I did back then, but I think that's what I regret. I didn't think about fit as much, and now going back, everything worked out great, and I'm so glad it worked out that way, but I really wish I thought about fit more. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for my how I got into the University of Chicago and other schools video. So if you do want more information about what my essays were like for other schools like Georgia Tech, UCLA, Berkeley, definitely let me know. I know I didn't go into too much detail about that because I didn't end up going to those campuses, so I can't gauge out exactly why I got in, but I think my test scores and my GPA were a pretty big reason. I guess I fell into the right ranges. My essays were similar variations of what I sent into UChicago, so that's probably it. If you guys are applying to college right now, I have a playlist about how to ace your college application process where I talk about essays, how to pick the perfect essay topic, how to construct your unique narrative for your essays, and how to ace your standardized tests, and how to ace your second attempt at standardized tests. I have all of this information in a playlist linked above, so definitely check it out. If you're not trying to get into college, don't fret. I have a lot of videos coming up about being in college and all of the experiences in college, how to get internships, all of that. I will be going into it soon. I post every Friday at 9 a.m. so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my content. Smash that like button if you've enjoyed my video so far, and I will see you guys at the next one.